I don't know. Can you tell what I'm trying to say? It's interesting to open it up. Like a purse almost. Like a penny change purse. Welcome to my channel. Today we are testing out some new ONESIZE makeup. So I have the Visionary palette and I also have one of the ONESIZE eye poppers. So we're going to be testing out this new formula, swatching, doing a makeup look, and then you guys can let me know if you want a 3 looks with this palette, what you thought of it, and we're gonna dig right on into this because this palette looks pretty good. Greens, warm browns, pops of blue is basically this palette. $42. Initially, I thought this was kind of expensive, but this is a Sephora only brand. So when you compare it to other eyeshadow palettes that are about this size at Sephora, it is a pretty normal Sephora price range. And then these are $22, which I am a little iffy about them. I decided only to get one shade because going into Sephora and picking up the ONESIZE palette, I did get to see some of these in person and they did seem like they were a little similar to some of the Shimmer. So I wanted a green one. I love green, so I picked this one up because it's a little bit closer to this matte green than it is to the bright shimmer green. But now let's get into the swatches. I did my swatches like usual, so I swatched from my elbow up to my wrist and I work from the top row working across like that. And I also do my swatches outside. Don't use any primer, anything like that. So we have Manila Sands, Taupe of My Game, Brownie, Suede Charm, Turban Legend, Title Holder, Soft Serve, Everything, All of It, Blue Mondew, Mango, Booked, Walnut, Strut, Matcha, and Rebel Gray. And that is the whole palette swatched out. And I am so excited to try it, though I did want to point out a few things. The matte seemed pretty soft. There was one shade that was a little bit drier than the other ones, and that's the Taupe of My Game. I don't know why, but it did seem a little bit drier. Also, Rebel Gray, All of It, and Walnut Strut all have a pretty similar formula with the shimmers, and Everything and Title Holder are a little bit more chunkier, like they have a little bit more glitter chunks in them. So I'll keep an eye on that, but the black swatched pretty nicely. I was a bit surprised by that. And now for the eye popper, the Sparkle Vision eyeshadow. That's what it says, Sparkle Vision eyeshadow. That's what they are called. Continental is the shade. I did do one swatch and I did another swatch, I guess you could say. I did a single swipe and then I did 3 layers to show you guys what it looks like just with like a little single swipe and then a little layered up. So if you do want a more pigmented base with these, from what I can tell from the swatches, you do have to build it up a little bit to have that like nice pigmented base, while as the single swatch you can kind of see through the eye popper. But these do seem more like eye toppers rather than like liquid eyeshadow. So this one especially, I haven't tried any of the other ones, but from what I can tell from this one, I'd probably layer it over something or have to build it up onto my lid. So I am going to try and use as many shades as I can for today's look with this palette, and I am going to try and use this eye popper as well. So I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we're gonna get into testing out this palette. All right, I got you guys all nice and zoomed in to see my eyeballs and everything. So I've been looking at this palette and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, but I think I'm gonna try and stick with the warmer tones. Yeah, I'm not even showing. I forgot I was zoomed in. The warmer tones of the palette for this look with a pop of green, because in my brain I really want to use just the green shades, but I gotta try and use a lot of the shades. So the first shade I'm gonna take is the taupe of my game, which is that shade that I said swatched a little dry. So I really want to try this one out and see how this is, if it's like patchy or soft, or how this is gonna go. Oh, there's a little film on the mirror. So far so good. I'm kind of slowly building it up in case it is patchy, but it's pretty pigmented, blends pretty well, pretty soft. I'm gonna take Suede Charm. The shade looks pretty interesting. Kind of like one of those sandy, taupey yellow shades. Oh yeah, y'all know I love my subculture type shades, and this is right up in there with the subculture-y shades that I love. And I feel like that's why I like this palette so much, is that I was so drawn to it because it's kind of like your neutral but not so neutral kind of shades, like kind of interesting neutrals, and then has the green, pops of warm. And the only shades I'm not really fond of in this palette is I really don't think I'm going to be using this row often at all. I really honestly think I'm just going to use this part of the palette most often. To my lower lash line, and I'm going to do just a Suede Charm. Oh, that turned out really pretty. And the other thing I wanted to say about this palette is that I really think that this palette complements a lot of different eye colors, like green, blue, brown eyes, hazel eyes. Like, I feel like a lot of these shades really help to pull out and just give your natural eye color like a little bit more of an oomph. And then I'm gonna take the shade Book and putting this on the outer corner here, adding a little bit more that red orangey shade. I really like this one too. So aside from the formula, so far the shades are pulling up really nice, blending, showing up, no fallout. The mattes are really soft. I haven't tried any of the shimmers yet, but so far I'm impressed with the matte. I would say this formula reminds me of Anastasia mixed with Makeup Forever eyeshadows. I'm just taking that same shade, putting it on my outer corner, and then I'm gonna go back in with that Suede Charm, that kind of yellowy shade, and just go through, blend everything out. All right, let's test out this Shimmer Formula. I think I'm gonna take the shade Everything, the kind of rosy gold pink shade. I'm gonna try it out with just a flat brush without any water or anything added onto it. This is one of the flakier formulas of shimmers, but it seems to be applying pretty well without any water. I like wetting my shadows, but I mean, that looked like I wet it pretty much. Okay, I am impressed. This formula of the shimmers definitely reminds me of Anastasia, for sure. The ones with the more glitter in it. I'm gonna wet this side. I feel like doesn't really look that different wet than what it does dry. I mean, I feel like it spread on faster, but what do you guys think? I actually feel like it looks a little better dry than it does wet. Now, I did get a little fallout. Nothing too crazy, literally like a couple little things of fallout. And then I'm gonna take Title Holder. I'm gonna do the same thing. And I'm gonna put it on dry on this side. Wow, I'm actually quite impressed. There's not a lot of eyeshadows that work this well dry anymore, in my opinion. I'm gonna use it wet on the other side. Oddly enough, I think I do prefer these dry over wet. All right, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of a lined upper lash line, so I'm gonna take the shade Brownie. Well, I thought it was recording, but it really wasn't. I basically took Brownie and I went over my upper lash line, lower lash line, and then I did a little bit of like an extended inner corner, and I put the Pure On Point eyeliner in Down to Earth on my waterline. But now I'm gonna test out this eye popper. Let's see. I'm not gonna take it on the brush because the brush does get kind of gloopy. I don't know if you can tell, but it has a lot of product on the brush, which I guess is good if you're looking to like build it up, but I just kind of wanna get a little bit, a littler than that. And I'm just gonna put it in this inner corner type area. There we go. I like that little pop of green. It goes really well with that gold shade, but there's so much product on the applicator. All right, there we go. Got my little pop going. I also wanted to point out, what I've only opened this thing. This will probably be like the 4th time that I've opened this, but like it gets so gunky in there. For like only having it for a couple hours and opening it maybe 3 to 5 times, like just so worrying to be cautious with that. But I'm gonna go off camera, put some lashes, mascara, all of that good stuff, lipstick, do all of that, and then I'll come back, give you guys my final thoughts and opinions and show you the completed look. All right, and this is the finished completed look. And for my lips, I use the Fenty Slip Shine lipstick in Glaze, which is one of my favorites at the moment. But as far as the One Size eyeshadow palette goes, I already have it dirty. I think if you like this color scheme, I think it's a pretty good palette. The shimmers are definitely not my favorite. I feel like you could have made them a little bit more unique, added a little bit more of like a pop, a little bit more of like a duochrome than just like a shade with some like glitter in it, even though it is really pretty. But I do think this caters to a lot of different ages, and like I said earlier, I did think that it was a little bit pricey, but when you look at other palettes from Sephora that are about the same size, this is a pretty good palette for Sephora standards. As for the formula, I think it's right up there with the top eyeshadow palettes, I guess, in today's standards, with like Anastasia and Huda Beauty and brands like that that are also carried at Sephora. I'm excited to see what is next for the brand, since they're coming out with stuff pretty fast. I don't know if they just released 2 launches and then I'm gonna wait it off a little bit, but so far I am happy with the eyeshadow palette. A lot more happy than the makeup remover. If you haven't seen that video, I'll have it down below and also in the cards for you guys. As for this eye popper, I do like how it is on my like inner corner, how it has that glittery pop to it. I will have to try and use it over my entire eyelid to see how it goes throughout the day. And let me know if you guys would like a 3 looks with this palette or not. If you're interested in it, I could definitely do that for you guys. Just let me know in the comments. But that is it for this video. If you guys wanted to see my video review on the new Pure X Raw Beauty Christie palette, I'll have that video right over here for you guys. This video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my face will be right here. Click on it and subscribe to my channel.